This is the Yorkshire we know and love. Safe to say, I think I'm going to record the rest of this inside. Hello and welcome to another Englishman in San Diego with myself, Leonard Sultana. Yes, we are out of the rain. We're in slightly warmer surroundings now. I usually try to do these vlogs in slightly different surroundings. Either outside or in a field somewhere perhaps, because I know that it kind of breaks things up, and it's nice to see a little bit more of where I am, which is here in Yorkshire in the UK. However, very cold, very wet, and summertime is yet to arrive here in the UK properly. It is the 28th of May. It's 56 days to the first day of San Diego Comic-Con 2014, 55 days to preview night, and these are a series of vlogs as I prepare for Comic-Con 2014. Hello you, this is Buzz, and yes, they're staying out of the rain as well. Right, these vlogs, like I say, are about my preparations for Comic-Con 2014. They're not necessarily about the news stories of the week. Those I save for the Englishman, or a cup of tea with an Englishman in San Diego live hangouts, which happen on a Sunday. We've taken a week off because it was bank holiday weekend last week, but we are starting them up again, nice and regular, as of this Sunday. The first one is the 1st of June. We'll be running them throughout the course of June and July, including the Sunday before Comic-Con, and also the Sunday after as a kind of like a wrap-up. Those are for when we talk about the news stories of Comic-Con of the last couple of weeks, or the last couple of days. We're desperately trying to secure our special guest for this particular week's a cup of tea, because we're trying to negotiate around his schedule. But fingers crossed, we will be having an announcement for that in the next day or so about our special guest on Sunday. We also have a number of guest bloggers as well as coming along and talking about Comic-Con live. You can join in that conversation as well by going to the event page on the An Englishman in San Diego Google Plus page, of which you can find the link below. So like I say, also a cup of tea with the Englishman in San Diego next Sunday, the 8th of June. Hopefully I'm going to try and get a couple of creatives and a couple of exhibitors on board as well, so we can talk about the actual mechanics of putting on the con when it comes to people showing off their wares. Okay, so yeah, please do check out the Google Plus page. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and tell your friends, spread the word, and do let them know about the show. Do let them take part if you can. Like I say, it's been very wet and very miserable out here, but the reason why you find me out in the cold this afternoon was because I went to go and fetch my car. Because basically the reason why I haven't posted one of these recently is because I have had one or two technical issues when it comes to finances. If I thought that Comic-Con 2014 was going to be a close call this year, it's certainly gotten even worse, because as of Friday my clutch decided to go completely tits up on me. It's been financial hardships. I've had some medical issues in that I completely wrenched my back about 2 weeks ago, which also means that the Bye Bye comic book guys have been put on hold as well. Those are going to be coming back next week when I've finally got my back up to some kind of support, and hopefully I can get into an exercise regime again and get the everything kind of up and running for that particular series of vlogs. Preparations are underway. We've got our Esters sorted out. We've got our flights finally nailed down. We've finally got that all sorted. We're flying into San Diego the week before San Diego Comic-Con, and we're leaving a couple of days after. So we're actually having a full week in San Diego. We've got our insurance sorted out. We've got the condo pretty much nailed down. We just need to pay them for that now, because we're sharing that with a number of San Diego Comic-Con friends. So that's going to be cool. We just need to get where our accommodation booked before, in that week before Comic-Con, and also a couple of days after. But things are progressing nicely, kind of. I'd just like to get out to San Diego at this point. We're talking 8 weeks to go now, and this kind of weather here in the UK certainly rams home the point that I'd really like to be in California climes. I do enjoy San Diego temperatures. I'm a massive Americanophile, I will admit, and I do enjoy that sensation, certainly as a Brit, of having a wall of heat hit you as you walk through the airport doors. Hopefully we'll get out there soon and we'll get to enjoy it, but that hopefully will explain why we've been away for a week. As part of the financial hardships, I mean, it's just been one thing after another, and not only that, you keep thinking that there's something that's going to go your way, and indeed, on Thursday last week, we discovered that I'd won tickets courtesy of Empire magazine, latest issue out today, a very, very good magazine. Empire magazine and Warner Brothers Pictures, they gave us tickets as a competition to go and see the London premiere of Edge of Tomorrow, which is Tom Cruise, his new film, sci-fi actioner with Emily Blunt. Don't tell Empire and Warner Brothers, but I did have to give those tickets away to someone a little bit more deserving than me, purely because I couldn't afford it, because it really has been kind of financial hardships up to this point. But the good thing about Comic-Con, and what I personally so I will be doing it on the cheap this year, and the vlogs for 2014 will certainly be about how you can do Comic-Con cheap, because I would like to see more Brits heading out, and it can prove an expensive proposition. But the thing about Comic-Con, and the thing that I really enjoy about it, is that once you've got your badges pretty much sorted out, what you need to then arrange in terms of financial outlay is where you're staying and the evening. From the moment the doors open on the convention centre to the moment they close, everything in the con, apart from exclusives and signing autographs and things that you actually want to buy at the con, things to see and do are free. Hall H is free, Ballroom 20 is free, wandering around the exhibition floor and seeing the artists and seeing their work is free. Getting sketches, I think that's down to the individual artists, but for the vast majority of time they can be rather generous. So you can actually do it rather on the cheap. And I like that sense of generosity, that from one badge you can experience 4 days non-stop of some amazing content. That being said, we have been talking about the content that is coming to Comic-Con this year, including an article that was in the San Diego Comic-Con Unofficial blog, which was posted a couple of days ago, about the films coming to Comic-Con, written, I believe, either by Jeremy Rutz or by Kerry Dixon, one of the team. An excellent article, as usual, talking about the 30 or 40 films that we could be seeing at Comic-Con. Now, I've actually been having a Twitter argument with Jeremy about this one, because I personally don't believe that Guardians of the Galaxy will be a film that will be coming to Comic-Con this year. I think it did its winning of hearts and minds thing at the Disney panel at Comic-Con last July in 2013. At this point, we're kind of hearing rumours that Guardians of the Galaxy will be getting its Los Angeles premiere on the Monday of Comic-Con week, and then it'll be doing a preview, its London premiere on the Sunday, on the 27th. I think, personally, that Guardians of the Galaxy, if Marvel haven't sold the film, not only to the Comic-Con crowd, but also to the general public, to get those numbers through the door, this being such a risky proposition, if they haven't done it by Comic-Con week, then someone at Marvel has made a massive misjudgment. And I personally think that they will be concentrating more on the general public, the muggles, as it were. And I think last year's panel at Comic-Con was the big sell for Guardians of the Galaxy, for us comic book fans to get the groundswell going. That's what Comic-Con, I think, is for. I think Comic-Con Marvel panel this year is going to be Marvel regrouping, especially after the news of this week of Edgar Wright leaving the Ant-Man project. Phase 3 needs to get underway at some point, so it's now a case of what is going to fill that Ant-Man void if it carries on in its current form. Because Edgar Wright has been pushing that film pretty much since 2006. It was pretty much set up before the first Iron Man film. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Marvel panel does this year. But I would love to be wrong. I really would, because due to circumstances, I wasn't able to see the Guardians of the Galaxy or Marvel panel in Hall H last year. So I'd love to see the entire lineup of James Gunn and Dave Bautista and Vin Diesel and Karen Gillan and the entire roster of the Guardians of the Galaxy on stage in front of me. That'd be amazing. I just don't see it happening in 2014. I think it kind of sums up some of the things, the magic of Comic-Con, that you can see these things live in front of you effectively as part of your price of admission, as part of your badge. Things can happen which are magical one-off moments. We've had screenings, and I think we may see screenings of Guardians of the Galaxy at Con this year. I mean, we've had World's End, was it last year in 2013? We had Dread in 2012. The films are brought to Comic-Con when they are coincidental to the time of the con. For example, talking about one of my favourite moments of San Diego Comic-Con, which was in 2011. In 2010, myself and Caroline got into the Saturday panels of Hall H, and we weren't too sure what we were going to expect. We'd seen some big panels lined up for Marvel and for Warner Brothers at the back end of the day, but we didn't know too much about a couple of the smaller bits and pieces that were scheduled, including this small film called Paul, which we didn't really know about, and it really did just say film presentation, Paul, guest to be announced, at which point, obviously, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, the cast, and including Ripley herself, Sigourney Weaver, coming out on stage. At which point we thought, what a great way to kick off the afternoon. And that was followed by a film which we also didn't know too much about. I knew about the comic, but I didn't know too much about the film. Cowboys and Aliens. Jon Favreau walks out on stage, and automatically my attention is focused on the stage of Hall H. Jon Favreau directing this film. At which point he announced that he'd been shooting for 2 weeks and had rustled together some footage and showed this massive section of the film which had had sound, effects and full mastering put together just for Comic-Con, a full year before the film was due for release. That's a one-off event. That's something you just don't see anywhere else. At which point he then also brought out the cast: Olivia Wilde, Daniel Craig and Han Solo himself, on stage, right there, Harrison Ford. The room erupted, understandably. It was an amazing moment. And he announced, Jon Favreau announced, that he would be bringing Cowboys and Aliens back to Comic-Con in 2011. And indeed, he announced a month before the con that Cowboys and Aliens would receive its world premiere in San Diego. Now, I just joined Twitter that July, and the first person I followed was Jon Favreau, with the intention of trying to land tickets and seats to this amazing world premiere. I also had some health issues that particular year as well. And that year I did actually trap a full-blown nerve. I think it was in my, it was either in my back or in my leg. But one thing was for certain, I was hobbling around San Diego in quite some intense pain in July of 2011. We had seen the massive poster up on the side of the Hilton Bayfront, giving Twitter details and also text details where information would be passed out about a possible seats for this screening. So bear with me a second. You wanting to go out? Where was I? I followed Jon Favreau on Twitter and discovered that he was going to be announcing these gold brick giveaways around San Diego throughout the course of Thursday and Friday for the Saturday screening of the film. I was hobbling around in intense pain and I always seemed to miss the giveaways by 10 or 12 people. And after about the fourth or fifth giveaway, I just pretty much gave up. I'd wasted an entire day, which I could have spent in the con, trying to get these gold bricks, this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I then noticed on the Thursday evening that Jon Favreau tweeted that he would be at the Hard Rock Hotel on the Friday at about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And he would be there with Drew Struzan, legendary movie poster artist, the guy behind the Thing and the Harry Potter earlier films posters, the Star Wars prequel trilogy posters. Legendary artist and somebody whose work I'm a massive fan of. He had announced that he had done a special print for Jon Favreau for Cowboys and Aliens, and that he will be signing prints at the Hard Rock. This was also the day that Captain America the First Avenger was being screened in San Diego, and Caroline decided that she would queue up to go and see that. There's the possibility of Chris Evans making an appearance, so she was rather excited about seeing him. I decided to walk past the Hard Rock Hotel, and this was about 8:30 in the morning. Just thought I'd see what the lay of the land was, and saw 15 people in the queue already. I was intending to get in the queue at around 11, and I suddenly realised that if I didn't get in the queue now, I may not even get one of these rather rarefied gold bricks. So I decided to join the queue right there with these amazing people, these fantastic now Comic-Con friends. But that was at 9 o'clock in the morning. San Diego is still quite overcast at that point, but the sun did arc above Petco Park, got blocked by Omni for a couple of minutes, and then proceeded to burn through the cloud and just burn me into the sidewalk. I don't think I've ever been that sunburnt in my life. I ended up looking a little bit like Zoidberg from Futurama. It was certainly a long day in San Diego heat. But at 1:30, they opened up the lines, we went inside, and there was Drew Struzan and Jon Favreau. And in fact, I turned around to Jon Favreau and said, listen, I'm a massive fan, I appreciate your films, and it's an honour to meet you, but this is the guy that I really want to meet. Drew Struzan, can you please come out of retirement. I have no idea what has happened ever since that you stopped making movie posters, but we now have these Photoshop nightmares advertising films. We need you to come out of retirement. It made him smile, and I'm happy I managed to get that out of him. As it happens, apparently he may be coming out of retirement for the new J.J. Abrams Star Wars film. Fingers crossed for that. So, once I'd effectively insulted Jon Favreau to his face, he handed me a gold brick, which was a cardboard box. Within it was a plastic replica of the arm shooter from the film, something or nothing really, and 2 tickets for the Cowboys and Aliens world premiere in San Diego on the Saturday. I also got a rather impressive Drew Struzan limited edition print, which is framed in this house and is an amazing souvenir of that particular year. So, the Saturday, 11 o'clock, we head to San Diego Civic Theatre, I believe, is where it was. And from 11 o'clock in the morning through till 6:30 that afternoon, or that evening, for 7 hours, we were effectively treated like cattle in one of the large auditoriums in the Civic Centre. No films, just a table of soft drinks and jerky. Making some good friends, but very, very isolated and trapped for a full 7 hours on a Friday. It was hard going. You were extremely bored, but making up for it was the moment when we were eventually herded down the red carpet to the screening auditorium and into the theatre, where we were then presented with Jon Favreau up on stage saying that it was happy for him to bring Cowboys and Aliens to its core audience, the Comic-Con supporters of his work ever since Iron Man and before. He then brought out the cast of Cowboys and Aliens, Olivia Wilde, Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, the full cast and lineup, as it were, and also some close friends who had come along for the premiere. Steven Spielberg, Ron Howard, and various guests as well. To turn around and say that you have sat in the world premiere of a major Hollywood film, not more than 20 foot away from Harrison Ford, Jon Favreau, and Steven Spielberg, is something you can dine off for the rest of your life. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. To say that you were sat one row behind and one seat across from Johnny Galecki from The Big Bang Theory, who, I can reveal, proceeded to spend the entire film shoveling popcorn down his face like it was going to be banned that particular evening. That's a story you can tell your friends and family when you get home. It's magical moments like that which happen at Comic-Con and can only happen at Comic-Con, which is part of the reason why we do keep going back. What are yours? I'm almost certain that there are a number of once-in-a-lifetime moments that you can remember. I know that there are a couple of my friends, Comic-Con buddies out there, that can remember being woken up, was last year? No, the year before, when they were disturbed in the middle of the night in their Ballroom 20 queue by Joss Whedon for the Firefly 10th anniversary reunion. And, of course, the year before, there are a number of people who keep reminding me that they did get to meet Ian McKellen and a number of the Hobbit cast that came out to see them at the Hall H line on the Friday night. These are once-in-a-lifetime moments, and it's the reason why we keep going back. What's yours? I'm certain you've got one. Leave them in the comments below. Share them. Let us know what Comic-Con moments you remember. If it's the first time if 2014 is the first time that you're going to Comic-Con, prepare yourself, because there are those moments, those random events that happen which just suddenly make you stop and think, this is the reason why we've come. It's an impressive thing to think about, and I'm looking forward to even more once-in-a-lifetime moments at Comic-Con this year. Right, this is going to be I have determined now that these vlogs are going to be a regular thing every Wednesday. I'm going to get them up, so the next one will be on the 4th. Do keep your eye on your inbox. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please keep your eye on the vlogs that I post. Hopefully as well, if it is your first time going to Comic-Con, I do want to try and do some more of what I did last year, which is any help or advice or tips that I can give if you want to get more out of your con this year. So do let me know in the comments about what you want me to talk about. So yes, we're talking 8 weeks to go, and 2010, the first con I went out to was actually my honeymoon. So yes, the timing is coming around that in a couple of weeks' time, it's going to be my wedding anniversary. Caroline has already given me my first kind of early anniversary present, a combination of my favourite Disney character, not from my favourite animated film, however. That is the other subject of this mashup. It is Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, and it is Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. I love that film. How to Train Your Dragon 2 got screened in Cannes the other week, and got some extremely positive reviews from a Cannes audience. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Listen, Caroline doesn't actually watch these vlogs. She hears me waffle on enough in real life. She doesn't want to turn on YouTube and hear me do it again. Have you got any ideas out there for a geeky Whedon-file, a Buffy fan, Firefly? She likes Vampire Diaries. I need some ideas for an anniversary present which isn't going to cost me the earth. Any suggestions? Leave them in the comments, or indeed you can tweet me at Englishman SDCC. I've got the address down there below if you want to send me a tweet, get in contact with me. Let me know what you want to have me talk about on these vlogs. Also what you want us to talk about at the A Cup of Tea Hangouts. Do get interactive and join us on Sunday. We would love to have you join us. It's all about Comic-Con and about the news that's happened this week. Like I say, the Marvel news with Edgar Wright leaving, Ant-Man. You've also got the Daredevil casting that's just been announced. Is that going to be at Con this year? Have we now got enough time for them to put together either a pilot? Unlikely, but you never know. So there may be a panel for the Netflix Marvel arrangement that's been set up. So, back next week, 4th of June for the next Englishman in San Diego vlog. Hopefully, I'll try and conduct this particular video outside. This is where we could kind of hope that summertime will arrive in full force in the next 7 days. I'll see you soon.